Oh, hello. Good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Weekend Wrap Up with me. It's the Duke here coming at you. Busy week this week. I know I said that last week, but it was kind of busy this week too. So if you're new to the program, I don't know why I said it program. Anyway, if you're new to this whole nonsense here, what I do basically every Friday is I talk about the week in review, kind of what I did this week, and then look forward to the week ahead. And I always finish it up with a question for you, our loyal viewers, that you can answer in the Patreon, the Instagram, the Twitters, the internets as a whole. So the week in review, lots of stuff happened actually. So last week I was excited about getting these molds, or rather mold forms, completed, because what they allow me to do is to set up full set molds, and then because I had 4 of these forms, they create, as you might be able to tell, they would create a full circle, and then I could put 4 molds at a time in the bottom of my pressure pot, because the pressure pot is circular. The bottom of it is anyway. So that's what I did, and I actually made some stuff. These right here, I made some molds. They turned out pretty well, if I do say so myself, because I made some dice, y'all. I made some dice. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this candy apple, sour apple. You know what? That's a good idea, me. What are candy apples? They're usually Granny Smith's covered in caramel. So what better color to ink these babies than in copper? That's a good idea, me. Look at that. Look at how nice these are. These are fresh out of the mold, so you can tell that they are, because if I get see the one face, see how there's some. Let me pull it back a little bit. See the little weirdness around the one face. So that means that when I had them in this mold here, was it this one? No, here's the green one. You can tell because I haven't. Maybe you can tell because I haven't taken off the overflow yet. So when I had it in this mold, so basically where's the D20? There it is, it's in there. D20's in there. So when I had it in the mold, the one with the one face was up, and then I pour the resin in the hole, and then I slap this on top and kind of squish it down. Another name for these molds are squish molds. That's not scientific, obviously. It's colloquial. So you squish it, and you can see the stuff here on the sides, how it's kind of run down. That's resin. So you squish it, and so that means that the one face was the face that got squished. And so some of the resin kind of leaked out around the edges, and so when I pulled them out of the mold, that happened. But other than that, like, look at this. Look at the 20 face. Look at how shiny that is. Look at the reflection. That's pretty sweet. So we got those. Then I made a set. Ooh, I really like these. I'll show you the D12 on this. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to show you what looks the most like, well, kind of the D12. I'm indecisive. So the D12, little soccer ball. Look at this yellow. I don't know if that shows up on camera. It looks a lot better in person, and what I think I'm going to do with these, in particular, because this reminds me of a lemon drop, the color anyway, but the sheen, you can tell they're shiny, they're reflecting the light. The sheen does not remind me of a lemon drop, because what's a lemon drop got? It's got that sugary coating all along the outside, right? So what I'm going to do with these to make them look more lemon droppy is I'm actually going to sand them, and this sandpaper is well used, as you can see by the by all the resin on it. I'm going to sand it. So this is 400 grit. What this will do, basically, what 400 grit sandpaper does, it's fine sandpaper for like wood, But for resin, for something that actually already has a mirror-like shine, that 400 grit sandpaper is going to knock that shine off. And what it's going to do, I already tested this and it does work. What it's going to do is it's going to make that resin matte finish. And I think that's going to look perfect on those yellow dice with because they'll look like lemon drops, because they'll be a matte. They won't be a shiny finish. Excuse me, still drinking my morning coffee. Hopefully you've had yours already. So that's those, and then I've got this one I really like. I really like this set. Let me see if I can pull one that shows you the coolness. That one's pretty good actually because of. So all these colors, by the way. Goodness, excuse me. All these colors, by the way, are chosen by the littlest Duke. I look that up. Like, what's the rank below a Duke? The kiddo. Because I was like, dude, I'm gonna make some dice. What do you want? What colors do you want me to use? And I showed him. Do I have that box in? I don't. But I showed him a box of these mica powders that I got, and these are really cool. I'm gonna promote something else. So I don't know how you say that brand name, Gilzy Glyphics. You got me. But this brand name, I got it off of Amazon, as I do most things. So there's yellow. So there's the yellow. What else have I shown you? The green. It's just green. Just green. These mica powders normally, not that I really played with mica powders a lot, but I believe normally mica powders are flat. They're not shiny. They're certainly not glittery. But these mica powders are. So like I follow a lot of dice makers, and a lot of dice makers, whenever they add mica powder, they have to add extra stuff to make it sparkle. This stuff, you ain't got to do that. It just sparkles on its own. So what I asked him to do was look at the whole box of powders. It's like 20 something. And I was like, I'm going to make, 3 sets of dice. Tell me, pick out 4 colors, pick out 2 standalone colors, and then 2 colors that you want to go together. And he was like, okay, red and blue and yellow and green. And I was like, you did not understand the assignment. Like, I can't, you need 2 that go together and then 2 that are separate. So I was like, which 2 do you want to go together? He's like, red and green. Or red and blue, rather. Red and green. Christmas colors. He could have. He really likes Christmas. Anyway, red and blue. And I'm like, okay, that's all right. And then we'll have just a green and a yellow. And at first I was like, really? Yellow? Like what? But honestly, I think the yellow might be my second favorite set. My favorite set is the red and blue. And this is the way they came out. Look at that. Look at that. How cool that mixing in there is. I did mess up with the mold, so it's funny that if you roll a 1, you get the blue on top. Oh well. But look at that. Like, look at the way the colors mixed. And they're all like that. They are all, it's not a lot, really. Here we go. The D6 is pretty good. Like, because what I did, if you can tell, because the one is the high face here, or the one is the face on top. So what I did is I poured the blue in first, and I tried to get more or less, half and half. Some succeeded more than others. And then I poured the red on top. And so what I was hoping, I was like, well, is it going to be, is it going to be distinct red and blue? Is it going to just be purple? Like, I didn't know what was going to happen because I didn't wait in between. I literally mixed up my resin in 2 halves, dyed part of it, dyed 1 half red, dyed 1 half blue, and then poured the blue, and then immediately poured the red. So, but the effect I got, I think, is, I did not fumble the D4. Is pretty cool, I think, because look at that. Like, that's sick, man. I really like that. So, turned out really well. So good on the kiddo for picking these color schemes. So yeah, so I made some dice. Obviously they need to be finished. Obviously the one faces on most of the dice, except for a couple of D4s, because I set up the mold incorrectly. But they need to be finished and polished. That over what's the term for that? Flashing. The flashing on the one faces needs to be cleaned off and made smooth. But for the most part, those dice don't need to be polished because they came off of masters that were already shiny. Like these are 20-year-old dice, y'all, already shiny. So when you put something shiny in a silicone mold and then make a copy of it, it's still going to be shiny. So that's that. So kind of jumping forward to the week ahead, it's gonna be finishing those bad boys and then inking them, and then they go up in the store. Oh, that's exciting! I'm finally gonna have a product in the store. So yeah, that's the week ahead is finishing those dice. One other thing that I'm gonna finish, and let me show you this because this one actually is finished. This one is 100% polished. So this is a master that oh, look at the light. Look at the light reflect off of that. So this is a master that I made in J Dot's shop, J Dot. You got that? Made off of their mold. Look at the bear. Look at the bear. Isn't that sick? It's not focusing, but that's so cool. But it's like it's even cooler in person because it's basically a prism. It's so shiny, so clear. Like you can see. I don't know if you can. Yeah, you can. So you can see. So there's the what face is that? 16. Let me turn it. Yeah, so 16, you can see the 2 behind it through. That's amazing. I love it. This die is so fantastic. So even the one face, like even the critical failure is just phenomenal. You can see the bear through it on the other side. So this is fully polished. I've actually got 2 sets. So I've got a clear set like this, and then actually this one's fully polished too. No, I like this one a lot, and I've got some other people that like this one too. The pinkest pink. I've got a pinkest pink set. Look at how shiny that face is. Apologies for the state of my cuticles and fingers. But look at how shiny that is. It's so smooth, so shiny. So I've got basically 2 master sets of my logo dice, one pink and one crystal clear. And when I say crystal clear, I mean crystal clear. I'm running out of time here. So that's the week ahead. It's just finishing some dice. Those masters I'm going to make, once they're fully 100% polished, I'm going to make some molds out of those. So I can start making logo dice, because those are going to be sweet. So that's the week ahead. So that's pretty much time. Like I said, busy week, a lot of dice making. Also, actually throw one other thing in the mix. I mentioned last time that I was going to do some work on these. I have not yet, as you can tell. But with Mother's Day coming up, I believe that me and Mr. the Duke are going to be working on some of these for his mom. So looking forward to it, because I think what we're going to do, and I think I've mentioned this before, is because there's this crack here. Originally I was like, oh, I'll just fill the crack with resin, but that's kind of lame. It's just a little bit. Like you don't get a big visual effect of that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a chisel and I'm just split this in half. Once I mean, it's not really flat, so I'm going to make it flat first. Take some of that material off. But then once it's flat, then I'm going to split it, carve a neat, kind of wavy effect, sort of, into the center, and then pour an actual river of resin in the middle of this, and it's gonna be, I think, it'll make a pretty cool trivet for your hot stuff at the table. So that's that. That is the week in review. Looking forward to the week ahead. So as usual, we finish with a question for all of y'all. So the question for all of you is, what do you do in your me time? If you don't have to worry about work, don't have to worry about kids, don't have to worry about the spouse, don't have to worry about responsibilities, bills, none of that stuff. What do you do when it's just you time? Do you watch TV? Do you read? Do you listen to music? What do you do? Hit me up in the Insta comments, the Patreon comments, not YouTube comments, because YouTube comments are a cesspool. However, shoot me a Twitter, whatever you want to do, and let me know. All right, well, that's it for another episode of the Weekend Update. Weekend Update. not SNL. The Weekend Wrap-Up. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Thanks for supporting me on Patreon. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I am the Duke, and once again, I'll see you until next time. Be good to each other. Peace.